Hello everybody, I hope you're well, having a lovely day. I'm going to read the next chapter of Matilda. It's called Arithmetic. Matilda longed for her parents to be good and loving and understanding and honourable and intelligent. The fact that they were none of these things was something that she just had to put up with. It was not easy to do so. But the new game that she had invented of punishing one or both of them every time they were beastly to her made her life much more bearable. Being very small and very young, the only power Matilda ever had over anybody in her family was brain power. For sheer cleverness, she could run rings around them all. But the fact that she remained that any 5-year-old girl in any family was always obliged to do as she was told, however annoying the orders might have been. Thus, she was always forced to eat her evening meals off of the TV dinner trays and in front of the dreaded box. She always had to stay home alone on weekday afternoons. Whenever she was told to shut up, she had to shut up. Her safety valve, the one thing that prevented her from going around the bend, was the fun of devising these splendid punishments. The lovely thing was that they seemed to work, at any rate, for short periods. The father in particular became less cocky and unbearable for several days after receiving a dose of Matilda's magic medicine. The parrot in his chimney affair quite definitely cooled both parents down over that week. They were comparatively civil to their daughter, but alas, this couldn't last. The next flare-up had come just one evening in the sitting room. Mr. Wormwood had just returned from work. Matilda and her brother were sitting quietly on the sofa, waiting for their mother to bring their TV dinners on the tray. The television had not yet been switched on. In came Mr. Wormwood, in a loud check suit and a yellow tie. The appalling, broad orange and green check of the jacket almost blinded the onlooker, and he looked like a low-grade bookmaker, dressed up for his daughter's wedding. He was clearly very pleased with himself this evening. He sat down in the armchair, he rubbed his hands together, and he addressed his son in a loud voice. "Well, my boy," he said, "your father's had the most successful day. He is a lot richer tonight than he was this morning. He has sold no less than 5 cars, each one with a tidy profit. Sawdust in the gearbox, the electric drill on the speedometer cables, and a splash of paint here or there, and a few other clever little tricks, and the idiots were falling over themselves to buy it." He fished a bit of paper from his pocket and studied it. "Listen, boy," he said, addressing the son, ignoring Matilda. "Seeing as you'll be going to business with me one day, you've got to know how to add up the profits you make at the end of each day. Go and get yourself a pad and pencil and let's see how clever you are." The son obediently left the room and returned with his writing materials. "Write down these figures," the father said, reading from his bits of paper. "Car number 1 was bought for me by £278 and sold for 1,425. Got that?" The 10-year-old boy wrote down 2 separate amounts, slowly and carefully. "Car number 2, father went on, "cost me £180, sold it for 760. Got it?" "Yes, Dad, I've got it." Sorry, there's a picture of him writing down his numbers. One of Quentin Blake's beautiful illustrations. Car number 3 cost me £111 and I sold it for £999.50. "Say that again," son said. "How much did it sell for?" £999.50, the father said. "And that, by the way, is another of my family tricks to diddle the customer. Never ask for a big round figure. Always go just below it. Never say £1,000. Always say £999.50. It sounds so much less. It's clever, isn't it?" "Very," the son said. "You're brilliant, Dad." Car number 4 cost £86. A real wreck, that was. It sold for £699. "Not too fast," the son said, writing the numbers down. "Right, I've got it. Car number 5 cost me £637 and sold for £1,649.50. Have you got all those figures down?" "Yes, Daddy," the boy cried. He said, crouching over his pad and carefully writing. "Very well," his father said. "Now work out the profit I made on each of those cars and add up the total, and you'll be able to tell me how much money your rather brilliant father made today." "That's a lot of sums," the boy said. "Of course it's a lot of sums," the father answered, "but when you're in business like I am, you've got to be hot stuff with arithmetic. I've got I practically got a computer inside my head. It took me less than 10 minutes to work the whole thing out. You mean you did it in your head, Dad? The son was goggling. Well, not exactly. Nobody could do that, but it didn't take me long. When you finish, tell me what you think the profit for the day was. I've got the final total written down here, and I will tell you if you're right. Matilda said quietly, Dad, you made exactly £4,333.50 altogether. Don't butt in, her father said. Your brother and I are busy with finance. But Dad... Shut up, the father cried. Stop guessing and trying to be clever. Look at your answer, Dad, Matilda said gently. If I've done it right, it ought to be £4,333.50. Is that what you got, Dad? The father glanced down at his piece of paper in his hand. He seemed to have stiffened. He became very quiet. There was a silence, and then he said, Say that again. £4,333.50. There was another silence. The father's face was beginning to go dark red. I'm sure it's right, Matilda said. You little cheat! You saw the paper! You read it off when I got it out! Daddy, I'm on the other side of the room, Matilda said. How could I possibly see it? Don't give me that rubbish, the father shouted. Of course you looked. You must have looked. No one in the world could get the right answer. Not like that, especially a girl. Wow. At that point, the mother came in carrying a large tray on which the four suppers. This time, it was fish and chips, which Mrs. Wormwood had picked up in the fish and chip shop on her way home from bingo. It seemed bingo afternoons left her exhausted, both physically and emotionally. She never had enough energy to cook an evening meal. So if it wasn't TV dinners, it had to be fish and chips. What are you looking at so red in the face, Harry? She said as she put the tray down on the table. Your daughter is a cheat and a liar, the father said, taking his plate of fish and chips, placing it on his knee to turn the telly on and talk no more. I can't believe he said girls can't do maths. Oh my goodness. Oh, this man. Well, I'm just trying to see how long the next chapter is. And the thing is, I'm running out of data on my phone because of all these videos. So I'm going to finish today and then with that chapter, and tomorrow I will read 2 chapters. The Platinum Blonde Man, because it looks quite a long one, so I think my video might run out. I hope you all have a lovely day, and we will all see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.